I'd like to welcome you to the silver anniversary celebration for our association. We tonight are here to celebrate the 25th anniversary. The Tree Association was started in 1964 with just a few members. And the founder of this organization, Mr. Cliff Hall, as some of you probably know, and hopefully most of you do know by now, passed away Wednesday and was buried today. It was a very sad occasion for us who knew Mr. Cliff to have to witness his death at such a time as this. He had been very active in helping us plan this meeting, and he is with us in spirit this evening, I can assure you. Give these away in a snappy motion here.
Where's my ticket?
If I can have your ticket. We're ready to get started. Charles, pull the first number. The lucky holder, if you would, come forward for your prize.
All right, the first item will be a pair of gloves by one forestry specialist. The number is 396.
Right here.
Good. Thank you, Steve. Next item is big old coat. Big old coat.
There you go.
There it is. Good. At the beginning of every session from now on, we'll have some prizes that we'll be throwing for us. So keep those blue tickets. You might be lucky. I'm going to ask at this time that Steve Penland, our Vice President, come forward to present our next speaker. Thank you.
Our next speaker is going to talk to someone, talk to us on studying hear about concerning income tax, how to avoid it. Vernon graduated from the University of Oregon in 1960 and passed the CPA exam in the fall of that year. He gave his first talk to tree growers in 1964 and has since given over 300 talks in 30 states to growers and accountants throughout the United States. He taught accounting and income tax preparation at Oregon State for 10 years during this time. The Holiday Tree Farm case established the principles for all growers. He has set up over 100 pension and profit sharing plans since 1970 and manages over $200 million in investments for clients. Vernon was established the first professional corporation for CPAs, and in the United States, he has a license of number 1, meaning that he was the first CPA corporation in the United States. He does tax work for over 200 growers in the United States and holds a Security 7 license and has a life insurance agency license. So if you would, please welcome Warren Bowie.
To present to you a man of high qualifications to talk to us today about claims and lawsuits. Now, all you folks think that you are not going to ever have a lawsuit. You think that all these Christmas trees are going to grow out there and you're going to leave 4- and 5-inch stumps and you're going to have the ant hills and the briars, and you're not putting yourself in any danger of liability. Folks, I'm here to tell you that you are, and our speaker is going to tell you likewise.
The next slide on our program is titled The History of the South Carolina Christmas Tree Association. And Mr. Hall, as you can see, was to be with us today to make this presentation. However, he had a very important day for the Lord, who came, as you know, last week.
In association, but this is the hardest moment I've ever had. Look in your program and turn to this page. First, big line, 25 years of guidance. That was Mr. live hard. And I can't help but notice, folks, the pattern still fits. That's the man that built this organization. It's the man that started it and helped us all carry it along. And always, when we got to his time on the program, they was 30 minutes late and he didn't have time. But I just want to say this. I reluctantly said that I would fill in Mr. Hall. I was out of town last week all week, out of state, and didn't know he was ill until we returned home Sunday. Wilbur McCartha is the only original member of the association, charter member, that's still a member now. I came in a year, 18 months later, and I said, Wilbur, that's your job. He said, no, don't ask me to do it. He said, I don't mind writing anything, taking pictures of anything that says, you get on your feet, you do that. Well, there's no way for me to attempt to do what Mr. Hall had planned. I thought it was very appropriate that Good Friday he was a part of. Now, don't bear with me. There are 16 pages of the second draft, and he only got through 1969. Now, folks, he has a complete record of the South Carolina Christian Tree Association. Boxes of it. And I've told our secretary, I took these 16 pages and I tried to make a few notes on one. And I'm going to just bring you up to a few things up to 1969. And because this, what he has, we feel sure. Those of us that knew Mr. Hall, we know that it's in some printing shop, some little printing shop downtown. Mr. Hall was from Maine, and his only close kin is a son that has never married, looks very much like Mr. Hall, talks just like him, and he's never been associated with the Tree Association. And young Cliff did all he could do to find him, but he didn't know where Mr. Hall had these in the printing shop. We're going to try to find him. Colonel Ernest Cooler, I believe he knew I was coming in, so he skipped out. We'll see him later. He's a member of the same church and lives in the same general area, and we're going to try to run that down. It's a beautiful record, and we should have it as a history. And we're going to make every effort to try to get it. Now, these notes read something like this. 1963, the Extension Service was looking for new crops, farm South Carolina. Christmas trees was mentioned. Mr. Hall was the district forester for Clemson Extension Service. So he got to checking around. Bob Millett, do you remember him, Wilbur? He was an agricultural agent for the Seaboard Railroad. I didn't know they had such a fellow, you know. But I do remember Mr. Millett. He had a little planting down in Sumter County of 1,000 trees that he was letting people walk on, select a tree and cut it for $2.50, $3 a tree. That word got out. Then they found Dr. Nelson, who was a professor of psychology and philosophy at the University of South Carolina, who was our first president. He sold in 1963 $1,500 worth of trees over 3 acres He had it planted in Aiken County. So, you know how the extension service is. I mean, once they find something that's got a little bit of money in it, they start seeing around if somebody else can move it up a little bit. So they told Mr. Hall to see what he could do. He found Wilbur McCartha here, and you read this, you'll find some very interesting reading in here about Wilbur. Sid Balknight, sorry Sid couldn't be here, he's still up in the Dutch Fork. Those of you who've been around for any length of time remember Sid. He still sells Christmas trees retail on the farmer's market. He buys them from South Carolina, North Carolina, wherever he can get them. I taught school in that area, I taught some of his children. And one of his favorite things was to come in from the market, take off his hat, his wife would say, get off your hat. Don't eat supper. Well, he had his money in his hat. He didn't know, I don't think he wanted her to know how much he had. But anyway, he was selling cedar trees on the farmer's market, which was on Assembly Street in Columbia at that time, for 20 and 25 cents a piece. Red cedars cut off the Dutch Fork. Okay, that was 1963. 1964, a steering committee was got together, and at the county agent's office, Bob Bailey's office in Columbia. And Mr. Hall had written Wisconsin, now this is from his notes, Wisconsin, Michigan, New York, Pennsylvania, and had copies of their Constitution bylaw. So he was already ahead of the game. So they got together, went to Clemson. Clemson gave him, after talking to him for about 2 hours, told Mr. Cliff to spend what time he needed, or some time, with a new crop in Boston, Christmas. That's all Mr. Cliff needed. He started looking for people like you and I. He didn't come out and bother you. I know my first association with Mr. Cliff Hall was, I mean, I had taught agriculture for a number of years, and I found it very hard to get up and teach young boys that they could go out there on a small farm and make a living. I couldn't prove to them that they could do it. So I thought of Christmas trees. I ordered some several years and couldn't get them. A friend of mine that I was in the service with in China in World War II came by to see me, and he said, I'll send you some from Muscle Nursery. He was the first manager of Muscle Nursery, one of 6 or 7 there. But anyhow, I got into it. I went to my county agent and I said, who can tell me something about growing Christmas trees? He said, not me, but a fellow named Cliff Hall can. 2 days later, Mr. Cliff was in my place. Well, we got started. Now, he put no pressure on it. He just said, I was from Maine, I'm a forester, I'll help you any way I can. He brought me up to date what they'd done in South Carolina. They had already elected officers, had a board of directors, and at that time had about 29 members. This was in 22 members, 1964, September of 1964. So I attended the next meeting, and as usual, ran my mouth too much and was elected president on the next meeting. I never have figured out how that happened. Because those other fellows had been to enough of them, they knew that they had something they didn't know anything about, so they just elect some stupid guy, you know, who won't say nothing. So we went from there. 2 weeks later, Dr. Roland Shinnick, and I'm so glad that you have his picture in the old program, stopped by the house. He says, I'm Roland Shinnick. I work for research and forestry in Clemson, Professor Forestry. He said, I understand you like the President Association, and I just wanted to know Drop by and introduce myself. Would like to see if you'd be interested in using an acre or two of your land for a research project. And I said, pick it out, Doc. And he picked it out in the front yard. He didn't want to walk very far. But anyhow, I found out later that Judy and I had to set them out, mow, cultivate them, do everything. When finally got around to it, I said, Doc, when are we going to start pruning these things? He said, whenever you think you need it. But we set out about 30 different species of trees, folks. And Dr. Roland Shennigy walked a many mile. He looked at a many tree. He got the original cuttings from the Arizona, from the Leland cypress, many of the Arizona cypresses. Narrowed Arizona cypress. We started shooting about Arizona cypress. He gathered seeds all over the state of Arizona. And there were so many of them things that wasn't worth putting out, you know. I would know, because I put out about 10,000 of them and probably sold 100. But this research, and that's what I'm saying, Mr. Cleft has all of this in his notes. I'm not going to, he had 16 pages here. He called, and Ray Sturgeon, most of you know Ray. He helped Mr. Cliff. He and Mr. Cliff run the state fair group. And I feel for Ray, because Ray saw Mr. Cliff most every week. And Ray, he called Ray. He says, I've drafted up now for about the second or third time, and I've got it down to 6 pages. He said, do you think that's so long? Ray said, yes, sir. It's too long. So I'm thinking that he carried that on to a printing press, a printer somewhere downtown that don't even know that Mr. Cliff did. But it is history. I'll do everything I can to see that you get a copy of everything that's been done in research year by year from 1963 to the present day. Now, folks, I want to say this. As I mentioned, I think I've attended most all of it. I'm real proud of this. Man, I'm real proud of this. Gee, I see you nodding your head. You know, we weren't able to do this at National for a number of years after we got to Milwaukee. I mean, and this is the first time we've attempted to put out one. And I asked the president, now he's got to get credit for it, but he said, give it to Marvin Gaffney. He did all the legwork for this. And I know Marvin, you put in a lot of time on this, and it's a credit. And I'm so glad that you give people like Dr. Shennigy and those who in Cliff Hall, those words up there are beautiful. They are absolutely beautiful. And that was the man.